So the government's starting the year in a hell of a mess. 2 new positive cases have come back once again out of the Pullman. Of course, they stayed at the hotel the same time as the original case of the Northland woman. They visited 9 different locations: Albany, Silverdale, Rosedale, Northcote, Orewa, all in Auckland, of course. Chris Hipkins back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
So just to confirm, are these 2 positive or not?
Yes, we're now confirming them as positive cases. So they've had 2 test results. While they have a reasonably high CT number on each of those results, it is, we're absolutely certain that they're positive results now. Just hot off the press, I've just had in the last few minutes a phone call with the Director General who's indicated that the preliminary whole genome sequence result is back. They did that overnight. That's indicating that it's likely to be linked to the Northland case and to the other person who was in the Pullman hotel, who was ultimately the point of origin for this particular infection. So that's useful information to have. It does suggest that there's something has happened in the Pullman where these people have potentially come into contact with one another. So that investigation will continue.
So it's the South African strain.
It is the South African strain, yes.
Right. How worried are you?
Look, I'm feeling optimistic, but you never know with these things. The first 48 hours in any of these investigations tells you a lot. We had the first results of these 2 new cases. The first results of their close contacts testing came in last night as well. There were 6 people who were tested. They've all come back negative, so that's helpful.
How many close contacts?
Not a huge number. This is a smaller group of close contacts than the previous case, a smaller group of movements. So we released all that information last night. So the sites that they visited are all out there, and the times that they were there, they're all out there. So that's good, speedy to get that information out there quickly.
Were they good with the app or not?
My understanding is that they had a pretty good record of their movements. I haven't yet found out whether it's through QR codes or through another means, but they've certainly been able to indicate exactly where they were and when they were there, and that's exactly what we asked people to be able to do.
Why did I hear about this case first from Honi Harawira on the station yesterday?
Look, I'm not sure. There's obviously somebody up there somewhere in the process that's sharing information before it's even reached us. So that's unfortunate because it does cause a bit of public anxiety. Not much we can do about that, though. When you're going through these investigation processes, as soon as you talk to someone, there's nothing to stop them from going and talking to other people.
Why wouldn't you have gone public with what he knew when you knew it? Or did he know what he knew before you knew what you knew?
Well, at that point, we still only had 2 preliminary test results.
And why wouldn't you make those public?
Well, because as the Director General went through this in his stand-up media conference yesterday, what we often find is that those are then followed by negative tests, so they're false positive tests, or they might highlight a historic case. So, sometimes it takes 12 to 24 hours to get all of the facts together on these cases before we need to go public, because in many cases we don't, because they're simply discounted.
Are they workers at the Barbecue King?
I'm not sure, but I do know that one is an adult and one is a child, and that the adult has not been at work since being released from the Pullman.
So what are they doing at the Barbecue King then?
Well, presumably eating something.
Well, no, the reason it's a serious question, I'm asking because they were there for hours on end. Everything, if you look at that list, they were there for a half-hour period. Service station, pharmacy, etc. They were at the Barbecue King for hours on end, multiple times, thus indicating they might be workers. And if they're workers, they're interfacing with the public, which is completely different from being a punter.
No, the advice that I've had is that the person hasn't been at work since they were released from the Pullman. So I don't have the details of what they were doing.
Doesn't that worry you that they can be at a Barbecue King for literally hours on end, for days on end? And at the same time, you're telling me they haven't been at work?
It could also be, maybe, that they weren't able to identify specifically enough the time frame they were there, so they've put in a longer time frame out of an abundance of caution. Okay. I don't have that information, so I need to go back and query that.
Okay, fair enough. They also appear to have vanished for 5 days between Jan 18 and Jan 23. What do you know about that?
Again, my understanding is that this is a family that have not been particularly active, so they have largely been staying home, so that's helpful. But again, that's what the process works its way through.
Is testing going to be okay this time, or are you going to be watching the news tonight with the 9-hour queues?
Look, there may well be some delays. We do see after any positive case that you get a spike in interest, including from people who perhaps don't need to be tested. So I guess the key message there is if you're showing symptoms, if you've been to one of the locations of interest or you've been identified as a close contact, please get a test. Otherwise, if you're well, you're not you're not in that risk group. Please hold back because potentially you'll delay people who need to get a test from getting a test.
Started with one, now there's three. Are there any more?
Well, we've done pretty extensive testing of everyone who's left the Pullman. So there's around about 354, I think, from memory, people who left the Pullman in the period in question. Just around 300 of those have now been tested, and we've had negative results for all but these cases that we're now talking about. So just a few more tests still to come.
What's it going to take before you guys wake up, harden up, and solve everybody's problem and stick people in their room and keep them there?
We are looking at restricting further movement, particularly towards the end of people's stay. We're always looking at what more we can do to tighten things up. We'll look at that again.
Yeah, when? I mean, why don't you just do it? I mean, how many times do you want to come on this program with yet more excuses as to why this thing's gone wrong? It isn't working. There's now 3 cases, could be more. This could be a disaster potentially.
There does appear to be something at the Pullman Hotel there, and we're looking very closely to identify what it was there. In the meantime, the Pullman Hotel won't be accepting new people in, so we'll put them somewhere else instead. The Pullman Hotel will empty out a little bit, potentially, and we're not letting anyone leave the Pullman Hotel at this point until we're absolutely certain that we've contained whatever the risk is.
So you think it's Pullman, not MIQ in general? That these people just wandering around contacting each other, that's not a general issue as opposed to something specific at the Pullman?
No, I mean, I think if you look at the 100,000 plus people that have been through our managed isolation facilities, and we're talking about a very small handful of cases.
But it's it's the handful that do us in. That's the problem.
Well, but you're never going to eliminate any of that risk. People still need to get into the hotel. They need to get out of the hotel. You're still going to have them being tested regularly. As soon as you open the room, you have someone going in their room to do their testing or potentially bringing them down to a common area for testing. You're never going to be able to absolutely, these are not jails. We're not putting people in jail. You're never going to be able to completely remove all of the risk there.
Change of levels?
Unlikely at this point, but everything's always under review.